Hello, guys. You're welcome. And we have a situation in Denver, so we need to bring it to your attention. Let's see if we have a situation in Denver. It just happened like a couple of hours ago, and we need to bring it to you. And today is just January 2nd, so we need to bring that update, and we are doing it just right now. So what, as usual, you will read it, then after that we'll go through some of the visuals. Massive fire at a construction site for new apartment took up a complete city block in Denver. So this is a developing story, just like an hour ago. A massive fire at a construction site for Denver apartment complex forced evacuation for nearby residents on Friday evening. That's this evening. Robert Murphy, Operation Division Chief for Denver Fire Department, explained that more than 100 firefighters from various agencies in the Denver metro area responded to the blaze, which broke out around 6:45 p.m. this evening. This fire ran freely from one end of this building to the other, he said. This fire ran freely from one end of this He said firefighters arrived at the scene to find the west end of the three-story apartment complex, which was under construction, fully engulfed in flames. The fire continued to push its way eastward through the building as firefighters set up to control. There was a little bit of wind when this fire first came in, Murphy said. A fire of this size actually generates kind of its own mini wind and starts pushing those embers out. When I arrived, those embers completely covered my car. That has since died down. So that was the first update that came on. So what we are going to do currently is to show you some of the videos that came up this done. So let's see if you could get some of the visuals from CBS Colorado, who started the coverage earlier this evening. So let's take a listen to some of it.
News, a huge fire right in the middle area. This is a large apartment complex, appears to be under construction. A live picture for you from our copter, and you can see all the water and all the smoke coming from this. We're going to stay with this picture to give you a great bird's eye view of what firefighters are up against right now. Police have shut down Leedsdale Drive, both directions, near Forest Street. So Leedsdale, both directions near Forest Street, is where this huge 3-alarm fire is. As of course, crews work to put out this massive fire. It appears to be an apartment building that is under construction. Denver Fire telling CBS Colorado that this fire is being considered a 3-alarm fire. The call went out and crews rushed to the scene. Details still limited. We do have your reporter crews out there on the ground, and they are waiting to be updated from authorities, of course, to give us more information about what they are up against out there tonight. We know this fire is huge. You can still see all the flames down there. And from the copter, it really gives you a great bird's eye view of what they're up against, how large this fire is. Looks like they're doing a great job containing it to the inside of this apartment building that we've been told is under construction. You can see the fire still out there. They've really been on top of this. Fire crews surround this whole entire unit there, which is why they have shut off so many streets in this area, and they are just dousing it with water. All areas, all corners of this apartment unit are being just throttled with gallons and gallons, thousands of gallons of water as they battle this fire. Your meteorologist, Chief Meteorologist Dave Aguilera, was giving us weather updates earlier, of course, keeping us informed on the wind gusts out there. He says at times some gusts push through, but really the weather is cooperating with this as far as the wind goes. We know we've seen some windy days here. We have researched and found that this is called Harker Heights. This area there, this apartment complex under construction, Harker Heights, was a sign that was out there for people that live in that area. We know a lot of people have been told to clear out of that area. A large evacuation area in this immediate spot while the fire crews set up that perimeter. Your reporter Tori Mason on the ground for you. She first brought you details right here on our 24-hour stream as well on CBS News Colorado. After this broke, it broke, Tori, around 7 p.m. tonight, and boy, crews jumped on this one fast.
Such an incredibly large response, Karen. We've been able to move over to the Leetsdale side where we have a much better view. We can actually see that this is an apartment complex under construction. From what it appears to be, it looks like it was almost done actually, so hopefully no one was in that area. Hundreds of people are outside right now. I'd assume because, well, they don't have power. We're told by XL that at least 1,000 people are without power in this area. I was speaking to some neighbors and they told me that they heard something like fireworks going off during this fire. I also heard that there might have been some concerns about gas lines and propane tanks. We're still waiting to get more information from officials, hopefully within the next few minutes here, but fire officials say that they're really focusing on containment and exposure protection right now. Again, Leetsdale is blocked off every direction for several blocks, and it likely will be for some time. This is one of the largest fires I've definitely seen in this area, Karen.
Really something to watch as these crews get out there and have worked hard to contain this area of the fire here on this side, from the side that you're looking at. We want to go back to the copter, Tori, to just show what you're talking about and this expanse of this fire and just how large it is and how much crews are really trying to get on top of this one. You can see all the fire trucks from all areas really in that whole section, which is why they closed off so many areas in Leetsdale, both directions there, and all those side streets. You can see down there in that bottom left corner there. I think that's where Tori was at just a few seconds ago. You can see how the power is out in that bottom section of your screen there from the copter. You can see the dark spots throughout that. And XL sending out about 1,000 customers do not have power right now as Denver firefighters really battle this large 3-alarm fire. Leetsdale closed in both directions. Forest Street there is where we believe this apartment complex sits. Under construction, Harker Heights is the name of this complex, we've been told. Still don't know if anyone was around this fire at the time that it started, if anyone was inside the apartment complex. We sure hope not, as crews continue to battle this one. This will be a battle continuing for quite some time as we bring you these live updates here on air and on our stream, CBS News Colorado. Your reporter's out there, Tori Mason, you just heard from her. Michael Spencer, my co-anchor, is out there on the ground as well, talking with residents and business owners in that area who were all given evacuation notices to get out of that spot as they really tried to contain that area and make sure no one was hurt. Security always top of mind, and really getting to this fire and putting it out as quickly as possible. Smoke being seen all across the metro area. Calls coming in here to our newsroom as well as people want to find out what is going on here at Leetsdale in Forest Street. 3-alarm fire, apartment complex, unfinished, we're told, under construction. Smoke filling the sky. Thank goodness the wind is working with firefighters out there tonight. We know how detrimental and damaging and terrible our wind gusts can get and the trouble that they can cause. Michael Spencer, of course, going to bring you a live report coming up tonight at 10 o'clock on CBS News Colorado. Your reporter also out there, Tori Mason. She will have much more for us coming up at 10 o'clock on the top of the hour as well. Your chief meteorologist, Dave Aguilera, is with us. And Dave, just watching the big smoke plumes fill the sky there.
Yeah, you're not kidding. A lot of smoke out there, and it can be seen from all areas of that east side of Denver here. Years ago, I used to live in Aurora. I drove Leetsdale a lot through that whole area, so I kind of put some of the areas I know around here. I know there's a big King Soopers about 2 blocks just kind of to the northwest of there. There's a Goodwill almost right across the street. Vivint Health, and I do believe the Mexican Cultural Center is right across there as well. And then you get in the backside up here, there's a lot of just kind of homes, residential areas. On the other side of that fire, there's a couple of little rows that are just on the backside of that construction site. So part of the reason this is such a big deal is it's almost in at least part of a super residential area there. So
okay.
Really dangerous if any of those
that's why
flames
they
move
have
over.
the
The good news
evacuation
is
alerts,
here,
yeah.
this is the wind gusts that we're looking at right now. And wind gusts from downtown Denver into that area are only going about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So we're pretty good shape here. And then if you look out west, Westminster, Arvada, and Wheat Ridge, we're just a few miles away from some pretty strong gusts. And brief period of time, about, between 4, 6 o'clock, we had kind of a surge of wind come through the city. Thankfully, that has gone away. And you look at some of the smoke there, you can see it on the video. The smoke is not laying straight down. It's almost going straight up into the sky. That's an indicator that we don't have very strong winds through that location. It is tilted a little bit, so that breeze that kicks up about, 5 to 10 miles per hour does turn it over a little bit. But firefighters are really getting some help from that department, and also the humidity levels. This fire started, at least we learned of it, right when the sun was going down. And as the sun goes down, humidity levels go up, and of course, that slows down any new flame progression and that type of thing. So as far as the weather goes, we're in a pretty good spot right now for the firefighters to get a good handle on this fire tonight, Karen.
Fantastic news, Dave. Thank you so much for breaking all that down for us. Super important to check in on the wind. And as Dave was mentioning there, you can see that all those fire crews down there in our aerial shots. Your evening anchor, CBS News anchor Michael Spencer, out there on the ground, rushed out there to the scene to see what is going on, Michael. And I know that from the aerial views, it really just looks like they still have so much work ahead of them to contain this fire.
I do, Karen. You can still see some of the flames from where I am. It's pretty hard to pick up on our camera given the fact that it is so dark out here and that there's so many lights from DPD and DFD. I can tell you DPD has set up quite the perimeter here. I'm on Leedsdale in between Forest and Elm at the public storage location, if you're familiar with that. We are just across the street from the strip center that has the Peepers Optical, the Bella Italia restaurant in there as well. And I've come into a couple people who said, hey, we just came to kind of see what was going on here tonight because there was such a scene. I had a chance to also talk to one person who was here and saw those flames, obviously still going on behind me, but they were much more pronounced a little bit earlier this evening.
To the almost like in the corner of the intersection, we saw flames coming out of the construction building.
How do you think it started?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Hopefully nobody was inside at the time that happened, and if they were, hopefully they got out.
And what was your reaction when you see the big flames?
Oh, just a concern because I mean that's an apartment complex that they're building, and in the sense of it going in flames, that's a big loss.
Now, we do know there were evacuations ordered for people who live around this area. And as I mentioned, I have talked to some other business owners who came here who were kind of wondering whether or not their business is okay. So a lot of wondering going on tonight, and we'll continue to stay here and get you more answers and hopefully have some more information for you coming up in just a little bit, Karen.
Michael, as you sit there with no power around you except for the flashing lights coming in, we have been told by Xcel Energy that about 1,000 customers right now are in the dark as well.
Yeah.
Taking a live look from our copter right now as these crews surround this apartment complex, an unfinished apartment complex still
That's
under
true.
construction.
So most
and
of
you can
them
see
don't
the hard
have
work that
lights
they have
now,
been.
so-
They have been all over this fire. Leedsdale closed in both directions.
I'm just reading it
At
from here
Forest
that
Street,
most of
homes
the
in this area,
residents don't have.
businesses in this area. As
evacuation
you were
alert
hearing
has been
your
given.
reporters,
So,
they're
yeah,
on the
that's true.
ground reporting for you and bringing you live pictures here on CBS News Colorado. Our helicopter shot there, of course, giving you really the best view of what crews are up against at this hour. They've been
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll give you a different angle to this story. This is also from, let me see if I could find that angle. Okay, so this is also from News 9. So I'll give you another angle to that when they started reporting. So let's they got a lot more witness in speaking to them. So I would want us to watch it, and that'll be good as well. So let's listen to
Something
that.
like that before.
An enormous fire burning in Denver tonight. An apartment complex under construction at Leetsdale and Holly caught fire. Alarm rager that led police to evacuate more than 20 city blocks. The glow from that monster fire could be seen across the Denver metro area tonight. Its smoke plume even showed up on our weather radar. Now, good news is Denver Fire just told us no injuries have been reported at this point. Want to show you what it looked like?
Yeah, so that is the most important part here. Now, we don't have any injuries and also no death been recorded as for now. That is the most important thing here. We don't have, but properties has been destroyed. So let's continue.
From the high rises of Cherry Creek directly to the west. So this is looking southeast from like Colorado and Alameda. That fire threw an eerie orange glow over Glendale. Video from Laura and Chris Rutter gives us a look from the ground level right across Leetsdale. And that shows you why firefighters were so concerned that this could spread from the Harker Heights apartments, which are under construction, into homes and businesses nearby. Evacuation alerts went out around 7:15 tonight, telling people to leave the area in blue there. That's the Virginia Vale neighborhood south of Leetsdale. More than 20 blocks of single-family homes, plus areas with apartments, multifamily buildings, and a senior home that's right across the street from the fire. We have team coverage tonight, and we begin with 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj, who is at Leetsdale and Forest. And Shalima, what do we know about this large building under construction that's burning tonight?
Yeah, the details that we do have at this point is that this was a 283-unit development under construction, slated to open in May. We have reached out to the developer as well as this situation continues to evolve. When we got here, we saw some of that intense fire risk that you were talking about earlier on. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see some of the firefight underway. But what we witnessed when we got here was a lot of smoke, a lot of ash, and a lot of embers that were just blowing around the neighborhood. There were a lot of people showing up here, obviously, to have a look, curiosity, people wanting to see what was going on. We've just been speaking to the fire department. We are told that they will be providing us with an update momentarily, so of course we're going to bring you that, but you can still see that there are a number of ladder trucks up trying to do what they can to put this fire out. But again, the embers that were flying around, those pieces of debris that were flying were quite large. It was actually hard to breathe on the other side of the building, and a lot of people in this scene, and rightly so, they were wearing masks. Now I'm going to step back in here. At this point, we are going to be getting some more information from the Denver Fire Department. Once we have that, we're going to bring you the latest. At this point, they are telling us, for now, it appears that there have been no injuries. Again, this was a 3-alarm fire. Now, when we do get any information from the developer as well, we'll be sure to bring that to you. But for now, Kyle, I'm going to send it back into studio.
Information there, Shalima. So, I mean, you talked about those embers that were in the air. We were hearing from folks as far away as Leetsdale in Quebec out to the east that they had ash blowing through their yard out there. And I mean, when you got out there and you're talking about embers in the air, that was more than 90 minutes after the fire started.
That's right. And I mean, we're around an area that is highly residential. We've got trees around, we've got all kinds of structures. And this ash was continuing to rain down in large quantities. I mean, I've covered a number of different fires, wildfires, and I'll tell you, when we got here, that plume was absolutely immense. It was bright orange, glowing. You could see it from miles away. This was the kind of scenario where we knew that there were a ton of crews in the area doing what they could. We had police cars, lots of first responders trying to make sure that they were blocking off this area so that people could maintain a safe distance away. And I'll tell you, some of the debris that was falling, I mean, we're talking about the size of my cell phone or even larger that was actually coming down. And some of it was just lining the road. Wow. So you could see it, you could feel it crunching underneath your feet, and you could really you could smell it. So I could definitely say that for a lot of people who were initially responding here, I mean, it was very good for people to be putting on those masks because the air quality, you could tell immediately, had just diminished.
All right, Shalima Maharaj, appreciate that information. Want to give you a live look from above now. This is from Sky 9 as firefighters work this thing from every angle. Again, a very quick second alarm on this fire and then a third alarm given the size of the building. and
This is
the
very
danger
huge.
to the surrounding neighborhood.
we have a lot of
Again, if
policemen
you're not
around
familiar
and
with this
also
part of
fire
town, so
service,
this is southeast Denver, but it's kind of near that higher ground there that's along by Holly and Alameda. It's just south of there. So the prominence of the land combined with the enormous fire and the smoke plume tonight, this was visible across much of the metro area, and all folks could tell was that there was a huge fire somewhere in the heart of the city. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez is also on the ground for us. And Colton, you've been talking with witnesses and some of the people who got evacuated.
Yeah, Kyle, and you just talked about what this area looks like. Now, being out here, I want to let you know for some context, there are a lot of homes, there are a lot of apartment buildings, and it's all in a very close vicinity to this major apartment building that's been on fire for quite some time now. Now, being out here for the last hour, we've been talking with a bunch of different people who have been, one second, sir. And we've been talking with families that were out here earlier today. You can see there are people all throughout this area. Now, some of them say they just came to check things out, while others say they were evacuated from their homes.
Well, right when I got home, we got an alert on our phone that said had to evacuate everything. And you could just see people gathering and just starting to see smoke, light. And all of a sudden you saw the fire hose just start spraying water everywhere. And I go back to our apartment and all of a sudden our power's out. And so just trying to figure out what's going on.
And Kyle, as you just saw, there are people that continuously are coming up to us, talking to us, asking questions about, do we know when this fire is going to be put out? When are we going to be able to go back to our homes? There's still a lot of questions that still surround this. As you heard Shalima say, they are planning on speaking to the fire department, hopefully here soon. But Kyle, I think the question for many people that we've talked to out here tonight is, when am I going to be able to go home?
Sure, completely understandable. Colton Chavez, thank you. We're going to continue to keep you updated throughout this hour and on 9 News at 10 on the progress of the firefight. As you can see from the video that we showed you about 5 minutes ago that showed this fire in its early stages to this live picture from Sky 9, firefighters have made tremendous progress, but it looks like that Harker Heights building, that apartment under construction, 283 unit building, is completely wiped out at this point. We'll continue following this breaking story on air on 9news.com as well. Remember, you can always find the latest information on the...
Yeah, so that was the coverage from 9 News as well. So that is the other side. In the first coverage, we didn't get any witness for them to speak, but here we got a witness. He was also just around this residency, and what he said was that they just got an alert that they should evacuate. So as I said earlier, evacuation notice was issued earlier for them to just get out of the place so that they could keep the fire was going. So that was it. So let me see if I could get I don't know. I will try and get another pictures or another videos. So let me see. Yeah. Okay, this is when it all started. Yeah, this video is when it all started. Yeah, so it was very huge. Yeah. This is very huge. This is also from like Denver 7, but this was very huge. I would try my best to see if we still have an update and still on it. That would be good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have this when we had the police around. So this some visuals from the inside the buildings. Yeah, let me see if I could. Yeah, these are some of the visuals from it. I will try and see if I could get. Okay, let me see. I'll try my best to see if I could get an update on it. Not here. Okay. This is the update I'm getting now. So as we said earlier, the location is it's at Lisdale Drive and South Forest Street near the border of Glendale, and we already mentioned this. Up over 100 firefighters are on site now, and the incident has been upgraded to a 5-alarm blaze, the highest level of severity. So that is what the response is. So we have more than 100 firefighters on site. Again, as we made mention earlier, the fire has been upgraded to 5-alarm blaze, highest level of severity. Now, mandatory evacuation orders were issued for roughly about 20 residential blocks near the site due to the intense heat and unsafe condition. So that is what we know for that. And injuries, at what is coming right now is that at least one firefighter has been transported to the Denver Health with injuries. There are currently no report of civilian injuries. So that is what we know. We know that is from let me see. So this is from ABC7 Denver. So from multiple sources. Yeah. So what we know currently is that at least one firefighter has been transported to Denver Health with injuries, and there's no civilian who's been injured. So most of the road has been closed. So Lansdale Drive is closed for both directions. That is South Holly Street and South Monaco Parkway is being closed. The fire is large enough to have been detected on local weather radar. So even when you look at it, the weather, you will see it on the weather radar. So that is what we are picking from there. So this is part of the site. So it's what you are watching currently is part of it. So Hacker Heights, this is also part of the place that recorded this kind of fire. So you see a lot of military or a lot of security officers around, and also fire service personnel around trying to curb the situation. We don't now, as I said earlier, we don't have any case of death. The evacuation notice has been issued, and also only one firefighter has been injured and has been transported to the hospital. That is what we know currently. So I'll give you some of the shots. Yeah, I'll just show you some of this one. This is a developing story, so probably by tomorrow we will get an update on it, so that you will be back with an update probably tomorrow, so that you guys will know what really happened, because it's also an important one for us to know what really happened, because we don't know what caused the fire. So probably they might be able to give us what really caused it after the investigation. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'll try my best and see if I could get multiple videos, but the videos coming in is what I'm showing you. This is from our partners APT. Yeah, this is from our partners APT. So probably this is when they were curbing the situation. It's still ongoing, so they are still on site. We wait to see what they could do. I'm just showing you some of the videos so that you guys will know what really happened. Let's see. Let's watch it for about maybe 5 minutes, then we call it a day. Yeah, we need to rest for the day. Okay, so let me see if I could I could I could get any updates. If I don't get any update, probably we need to end it here because it's so that by tomorrow we will be back more. Mhm. Okay, let me see.
We do want to get right back to that breaking news at 10:30 as we are tracking that massive fire that has wiped out an apartment complex under construction at Leetsdale and Forest. Now, we know that one firefighter was injured in this fire. It lit up the skies across Denver and forced evacuations for blocks all around this area of Leetsdale and Forest.
Let's show you a new live picture that we're getting from the scene there on the ground. Shows you the extent of the smoke that we're seeing out there, just so much of it. You can see the Denver Fire Department ladder up in the air there. They've been spraying water, about 7 or 8 of those all night long in all directions around this building, trying to get these flames doused. Again, this was a big one, 5 alarms with 100 firefighters on scene.
Yeah, that's really limiting visibility there. And then this is a live look at Skyfox right now, and you can see still several ladders shooting water from above. We can count 4 just right there. That smoke billowing up. You can still see some of the flames on the back side there in the back left, and then also what looks like practically a block down the road down there on the right as well.
Yeah, you can see that's the Hilltop neighborhood at the bottom of your screen right there. Lots of really nice, expensive homes that are on the back side of that apartment complex just a block off Leetsdale. And thankfully, it looks like the fire didn't spread, but you can see at least one ladder in the yard of one of those homes spraying water on it from the north, trying to make sure that those homes don't get caught up in all of this. Again, this was a big one. We'll continue to follow it right here on Fox 31 and online at KDVR.com.
Okay. So we'll call it a day and see. Probably by tomorrow we'll be here. We'll be here with more probably. Let me see if I could get it. If not, okay. So this is where we end our live stream. Yeah. So I think I made mention of it earlier. We don't have any death here. It's only one firefighter who has been transferred or who has been transported to the hospital. So that is what we know now, and that is a good news that we know. But firefighters are on grounds, and also fire officers are on ground, so we believe they will be fine. That is it for today. Probably tomorrow we'll be here to bring you more on these stories and most of the stories making headlines. My name is Wale Yeboah, but make sure you're subscribing to our channel, and also if you have any feedback, you can also send it in the comment section so that you also, whatever you want us to do, that is what it is. We are in 2026, so whatever you guys want, that is what we will do for you guys. So thank you, and see you tomorrow. See you soon.
Shout out to Aurora Fire, South Metro Fire. They are here on scene helping us. This has really reached the level of about a 5-alarm fire, which is huge for Denver. There are probably 100 plus firefighters here right now working this fire. We also have other metro agencies aggressively from one end to the other to keep this thing in check and keeping it from spreading really to any other surrounding structures.
Can you speak to the weather conditions as well? We're dealing with drought. Did that make the fire move any quicker?
No, in fact, really, weather conditions for us are ideal. Not too cold, not too hot. Really not a factor in this.
Can you speak to the response just across the metro as well, just having so many partners here?
Yeah, the response has been amazing. I'd like to shout out to Aurora Fire, South Metro Fire. They are here on scene helping us. This has really reached the level of about a 5-alarm fire, which is huge for Denver. There are probably 100 plus firefighters here right now working this fire. We also have other metro agencies helping us cover inside the city of Denver because we've pulled so many of our resources to this fire.
Have you ever seen one this size? I mean, it's not that often.
No. Yeah, I have not seen one that's generated these many people.
Are there health concerns that people should be worried about from the materials that spewed from the fire?
I would say breathing this stuff in is not a good thing. We don't want to be having anybody breathe this stuff in. Luckily, we don't have a lot of wind pushing it around, so if people can just not breathe in the smoke, that's probably not a healthy thing, right?
What about the other materials? There was some like white fluffy materials.
Yeah, I can't really speak to that. I would say it's probably not a good thing to breathe in, and if somebody can wear a mask or stay away from it for a bit, they'd be better off. Yeah.
When was the last time that you witnessed a fire of this size or magnitude and intensity?
Yeah, probably like the Glendale fire a few years ago. Maybe the Glendale fire before that was 15 or 20 years ago. It's been a while since in Denver we've had a fire of this magnitude. The Emerson fire was definitely a large fire. It was a 3-alarm fire, which tapped a lot of our resources. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Any challenges that you encountered in this firefight? Because I mean, you've had so many people on the ground. You said over 100 people, and you've got all of these trucks hard at work right now. Any challenges that you've experienced tonight?
The challenges are getting all those rigs in a place where we can put them to good use. We have a lot of rigs here right away. We're able to use them. We work in partnership with Denver Water. They were able to increase the water pressure of this area for us. So we had plenty of water. Just getting those crews in place and knocking that fire, keeping it really our main goal. When we do a defensive fire, we want to keep it from spreading to buildings around, and that was really a challenge for us, but we were able to get it done.
Any read on how long the road will be blocked to the closed lead stand?
Yeah, I would guess most of the night. This fire is still not out. Our firefighters are still dumping water on it. It's deep-seated now within this building, so we're trying to reach those deep-seated locations, and we're going to be here a while. And with us here, they're going to keep Leetsdale closed for sure.
Could you clarify a little bit more, like at this moment, what the suppression is like? 90%, 40%?
Great question. I would say we're probably 70% knocked right now. You can still see a heat signature coming off the top of that building there, right? We still have fire in that building that's deep-seated that we're going to be working to get at for a while.
And do you expect neighbors to be able to go home tonight?
I would expect they would be able to go home tonight.
We've also heard, just in terms of the building materials for some of the newer constructed buildings, we've heard about, have you noticed any sort of complications in terms of fighting it based on materials that are being used now in construction?
This building was kind of in the early mid phases of construction, mostly wood. Of course, there's some plastics and stuff that they wrap and such, and those burn hotter, we know that. None of those posed a problem for us. It just the building itself was on fire and we had to work to put it out. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, you bet.
We'll take this.
So that was okay. This is Murphy, yeah, the divisional chief, yeah. So this is where we end our live here. Thank you for joining, and we hopefully will see you tomorrow. Thank you.